Hi guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another video. Today we have tonight, again, it's a first impressions video, or early impressions video, as I like to call some of these. So you probably saw, if you watched my unboxing yesterday, you will have saw that I got a trio of fragrances in from a base noter who took a month to ship me my fragrances. I was not happy about that. But the fragrances seem authentic and they are what I wanted, and I was able to talk them down in price because I got a batch. I bought all three instead of just one, where the price was a little bit higher. And I got two Serge Lutens fragrances, which are in the discontinued older presentation. One was even a Palais Royal presentation, the Rousse, which I loved both of the fragrances at first smell. Rousse somehow manages to be this cinnamon thing, this red hot cinnamon thing, which you would think is, really sweet, but it's not. Somehow Christopher Sheldrake managed to keep it unsweet in this beautiful resinous cinnamon thing that I absolutely love. And then Fila Nagi, what can I say about that? That also completely blew me away at first wear. The thing that I was least expecting about that fragrance was the freshness underneath. I was expecting the sappy, pine with incense, like a burning forest type, feel, but I was not expecting the freshness. It was almost like it encapsulated the entire forest itself. So it was also fresh. You were looking up at like a, like a bright blue sky while also staring at this forest that was on fire, and you stuck your hand in the sap of a tree that burned. It was crazy. I really enjoyed both of those fragrances. So my nose was a little shot after both of those, testing. So I figured I would wait and I would do Opus 11, which is, I believe, the last in the library collection that Christopher Chong was the creative director of before he retired. And this is the work of Pierre Negrin, who made Interlude Man. So he has his experience with resinous, smoky fragrances, and this is supposed to be, I believe, Amouage's take on an oud. Now, someone who is a fellow fragrance connoisseur, Duncan, in the comments mentioned that this is a huge marjoram bomb. So let me just really quick pull up the notes because they're not very complex. I guess I should have been prepared and had this all ready to go, huh? That's what a professional YouTuber would have done. So this came out, I believe, in 2000 and I want to say 18. Let's see if I can get my computer working here. It's taking forever. Here we go. All right, Opus 11. Let's see what the Fragrantica gods have to say. Opus 11. Okay, here we go. So it came out in 2018. I think Persola's put it on his best of 2019 video. And normally, sometimes I do this. Sometimes I have a fragrance, it's on my watch list. I really wanted Fila Nagil. That was the fragrance I was targeting, but I was able to get this batch, this, bulk deal, if you will, because I made the guy an offer, because I knew I also wanted Rousse. I didn't really want Rousse, but now that I smelled it, I'm so glad I got that one. And now this is the third one in the bulk. Would I have went for this if it was on its own? No, but I was able to kind of bulk it together and get a little better price. So here we go. Let's give this a first impression. The notes are supposed to be marjoram at the top, oud in the middle, styrax and leatherwood in the base. Very simple note breakdown. Let's see what we get. Let's give this bad boy a spray. As usual, Amouage sprayers are good. Okay. So immediately the marjoram gives this herbal type smell. The number one fragrance that it's compared to in Fragrantica is Gucci Guilty Absolute, and I completely can see why without even smelling my wrist, just the wafts coming to me. It definitely has that herbal Band-Aid accord that you get in Gucci Guilty Absolute. That smells like a antiseptic hospital, some people say. But this, the synthetic oud feels like it's amped up. So at first sniff, I would say, if you want a Gucci Guilty Absolute Oud version, this is it. This is a synthetic oud done very well, in my opinion, so far from what I'm smelling. It obviously it's not like putting on the night. It's not like putting on like one of my Bortnikoffs where you know that it's real oud and you can really smell the quality of the oud. This is not this. So even though the price point on this is a 100 ml bottle, if I'm not mistaken. Even though the price point on this is pretty high, I think these Amouage library collection fragrances are retailing at like $450 if I'm not mistaken. I think they're very expensive. And so it definitely is a it's highlighting the note of oud. There's no question about it. But it is you know, what is encompassing that oud and holding it up and showing it to you is the herbal notes like the marjoram. I don't think I would have mentioned styrax and leatherwood if not for the note breakdown. Let's see if the note breakdown is the same in like base notes, for example. Just out of curiosity. I probably should have had this ready beforehand, but hey, that's okay. We're only 7 minutes in. My videos are usually over an hour. So let's see. Opus 11. Let's see what good old base notes has to say. Just out of curiosity. Wow, exact same note breakdown. Go figure. Base notes and Fragrantica agree for once. Marjoram, oud, styrax, and wood leather. Wood leather instead of leather wood. So maybe they don't agree. I know it's the same note, basically written differently. You know, I think if I would not have experienced some of the natural ouds, like for example, the Bortnikoff Oud Maximus, which is my favorite, I think, oud fragrance. It's just done so well. And even some of the other fragrances that use oud as like a, you know, base, like Bortnikoff's Amber Cologne is definitely not a oud fragrance like you would think of, but it uses the natural oud that Bortnikoff and in his company Feel Oud have distilled so well with the rest of the composition that you know, it's hard to go back to these designer ouds. You know, no matter how well it's done, and this is one that's done very well, I can tell you. If you like fragrances like Gucci Guilty Absolute, you will absolutely enjoy wearing this as well. But there's just something about that synthetic, smell, that synthetic stench, I wanted to say, but stench is kind of like a off-putting word. There is a little bit of an off-putting smell to this, but in a mysterious and dark way, if you will. It's interesting. Do I love it? No. I think the Amouage I was telling you about that Nathalie Lorson and Pierre Negrin did in 2015, Opus 9, that's the animalic floral with some honey. I think I would have enjoyed a full bottle of that more. That's a little bit more daring. This is, even though this is, not that this isn't daring, because it does have that, it has that, almost like that petroleum, oily, but it is dry. It's very dry feeling, but it has that Band-Aid resinous thing that Gucci Guilty Absolute has going on, which I'm interested in. It draws me back to continue to get sniffs, if you will, but I can't say that I love it. So this is a for me so far, especially since I already have a bottle of Gucci Guilty Absolute. And I can't speak to performance, but as an Amouage in the Opus collection, my guess is that it's going to last forever. So it is, I think it's something that maybe if you are just first getting into niche, that this would really blow your socks off and you would go, wow, I've never smelled anything like this before. But for somebody like me, this is I could take it or leave it. I'm glad I have a bottle. Really, the bigger get in the package deal for me was Feeling Agile and even Roos. Those two made this kind of a, if I hate it or love it, whatever, I'm still happy with the buy. But I guess after smelling, Bortnikov's and even the beauty of that natural musk fragrance that he did, Musk Habib, and then I got to smell Riche Ladore's Siberian musk. Once you smell some of those natural ingredients, it's a little bit hard to get excited about something like this, especially at this price point. And I'm an Amouage fanboy. You've seen my Amouage collection. I probably have 25 Amouages, full bottles. Most of them I buy immediately. As soon as an Amouage would come out, I would buy that fragrance straight away. And so something like this, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn with where I'm at in my current journey. Now, this is getting harder to find, apparently, so I'll stash it away in the fragrance safe for a couple years, and maybe one day I'll get around to selling fragrance. I've never sold a fragrance before. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm always very cautious to sell a fragrance because, especially at first wear, when you have 600 bottles or whatever it is, if I give this a wear or two, I move on to something else, I come back to it or whatever it is, but I could be completely wrong. I could revisit this in a year and my first impression could completely change. This is just a first impression. I've been smelling Musk Oud all day, which is a very soft fragrance from Roja Dove. And I hate to say it, but even though I don't like Musk Oud, it's my least favorite Oud fragrance. This is even making the Musk Oud that I sprayed on 4 hours ago seem a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I'll have to give it some more wear and some more testing and see how it develops. If it's linear, I think this is going to be a neutral for me, maybe even leaning not as excited about this release. I would much rather wear Jubilation 25 for men, or I would much rather wear Epic Man. I would much rather wear some of their old school hits that I adore and love so much. And so, this is just kind of one of those things. That's my take on it. This is my honest opinion on it. I'm not trying to bash the brand because I love the brand, obviously. I don't love where they've gone since Christopher Chong left, though. No offense to Renee Salman or whatever his name is, but I don't like the direction that they have taken the brand. And nothing would make me happier than to see Chong come do like a triumphant return and save the brand from the direction that they've gone. But I think ever since the Sultan of Oman passed, that the new company is just all about profits. They weren't in it for the love of perfumery like he was. So I was hoping with this being a Christopher Chong, it would be a little bit special, but it's not meeting my expectations. Maybe because my expectations are sky high after sniffing Bortnikov's, and I'm sure, I'm not trying to say that I'm an oud expert by any stretch of the imagination, because I'm not. I've never worn or smelled an attar in my life. You know, there's a lot of oud that I'm sure a real oud lover would, you know, make fun of me for maybe just liking Bortnikov, but I like it because it's a little bit more accessible, but it's still a notch up in quality, especially from something like this, which is presenting itself as an oud perfume. So, and then you talk about this price point. For 100 ml, you know, there's 85 ml left, let's say. There's the line. You can see it on the screen there. For 85 ml, you know, is this worth the, whatever it was, 175 bucks I paid for it? Probably from a value standpoint, yes. But, on the other side of the coin, if you're spending, if you're buying this new, if you're spending 425 bucks or 450 bucks new, value for money for me is low. Because I could get a Bortnikov for $300. Now, granted, it's 50 ml, but when you have a big collection, you don't always need as much juice. I'd rather take quality juice with maybe a little bit less milliliters than a huge bottle, 100 ml bottle that I'll probably never finish in my life unless I drench myself in this. And, you know, I would rather take something that is a little bit higher quality, less juice. That's kind of just where I'm at in my journey. Like I said, someone else may have completely different thoughts. But the reason that I've decided to start this channel and do it is because I just wanted to share my honest opinion with you guys. And this is my honest take. It's a little bit of a letdown, but it is what it is. Not every fragrance is going to be a positive review. So that is my take on Opus 11. I was expecting more. I was hoping for more. But 2 out of 3 blind buy is not bad. Maybe this will grow on me. I do like Gucci Guilty Absolute. I could see wearing this in the exact same scenario. Did I need another bottle of a Gucci Guilty Absolute type fragrance? No, but you know, it is what it is. So I'll test it. I'll give it full wears and all that good stuff, and I'll let you guys know if the story has changed. But as of now, I would say, you know, don't get your hopes up with this one. They did not hit a home run, in my opinion. But more fragrance videos coming tomorrow. I've got a special, this is not a top 10 that I plan on making. So I would love to hear your feedback. I love seeing your faces down below. If you have experience with Opus 11, please do let me know in the comments. If your opinion differs from mine, let me know. Everyone have a great night. Cheers. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye.